Greetings and salutations to you all. Welcome to the Dan Cave and welcome to March 2024 on the bench. So, here we go. We're into March, third month of 2024, getting on for the first quarter of the year done. And it's time for the usual bench update. So welcome back. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you like the video, give it a like as well. And if you want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a comment as well. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to those who are returning viewers, of course, as well. You're the ones who make all of this slightly more than just a mad Irishman talking to himself. So thank you for watching, my current and existing viewers, and welcome to all the new viewers as well. I'm not quite as demented as I sometimes seem. Well, maybe I am. But anyway, there we go. So, bench update. So there'll be the usual things. I think I quite liked the kind of face to camera bench update that was done last month, predominantly. I think I might continue with that. I've been quite good on taking pictures of work in progress. So I think for the what's in progress, I can probably show that a little bit through some pictures. Probably make it a little bit shorter. Keep the overall video length down for the bench update to about the 20-minute mark, which I think is about kind of spot on. I think when it gets a bit longer, you have to invest a little bit more time. When it's a little bit shorter, around the 15 to 20-minute mark, it's a little bit easier to watch on the fly. So we're gonna, play around with the format a little bit, not too much. Still, hopefully, bring as much content as we have done previously. And going forward, I think for these, I might start introducing something a little bit different. I don't know what that is yet, but it might be related to what I'm going to start with. So, I'll just move that out of the way. So hopefully you can just see over my shoulder is the Facebook banner of Scale Fanatics. So that's a brand new group on Facebook that myself and a few others have started very, very recently. It only went live a couple of weeks ago. To the background to that is, myself, Alan Parker, Simon Shorey, Jamie Beat, Peter Millgate, PJ Lewis as well. To name but a few. If I've forgotten anyone, I think that's it. I think that's all of us. So kind of because we had all kind of met up at Telford last year, and most of us the year before as well, we had been discussing over, say, a number of kind of months, the possibility of us maybe trying to get a table at Telford going forward, so we can display our work, meet up with people, kind of a fixed base at Telford. We also do meet from time to time throughout the year as well. For example, we just over a week ago, we met up to go visit the British Motor Museum over in Banbury in the UK. And because of all those kind of things that we've done, we kind of thought, well, actually, we need something to kind of orient that around. So the idea of Scale Fanatics was kind of born out of that. We'll probably aim for IPMS membership at some point as a virtual group. But in the kind of short term, the main thing is to start the group, start building a community around some of the work that we do. So that's the plug for Scale Fanatics done. I know a lot of you will know about it already because I'm sure lots of you follow, the same people have already mentioned, or you watch the monthly Friday night show, Modelers Friday Night Show, hosted on Roland's channel, Model Kit Beginner. So a bit of a plug for Scale Fanatics there. So if you don't know about it, I'll stick a link in the description. I might try and do something fancy with banners as well, but certainly go and have a look at Scale Fanatics. Click on the join button, answer the questions, agree to the rules, and we'll let you in. So as with a lot of the kind of groups I've been involved in over the last couple of years, it's generally a friendly group, no critique if you don't want it. So if you want to post your work, you should expect no critique from anyone unless you specifically ask for it. We're trying to have a nice, friendly, collaborative area where we can just enjoy kind of sharing our work. And hopefully, if that leads to something where we can end up with perhaps a table at Telford, then it'd be nice to finally meet a lot of you in person for the first time. So that's our thoughts, that's our aims, and that's what we're kind of leaning towards. So there we go. So back to regular programming. So actually, no, let's not go back to it. So because of Scale Fanatics, I think my monthly update might change a little bit. I'm trying to think how I can kind of link in with what we're doing with Scale Fanatics now, whether that's, you know, having a look at some of the work that's been in progress, looking at some of the things people have shared. I don't know. I haven't really decided. For the moment, we'll kind of stick broadly with the main format that I've usually had for my bench updates, but I may tweak it a little bit depending on how Scale Fanatics evolves. So there we go. That's the plug done. So back to our usual programming. So today I'm going to cover all the usual things. So it's going to be the what's been built, what's been bought, and what's in progress. And then a little bit of a discussion on some plans, which maybe links back to Scale Fanatics a little bit. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Let's crack on with it. So let's start with what's been built. What's been built. So in the last month, like in the first month of the year, I managed to finish 2 kits. So that's 4 in total for this year. Go me. So first up was a kit I've been looking forward to since it was announced, and that was the new 24 scale Audi A4 from the 96 British Touring Car Championship. I think it's 96. So the winning car from that year of the championship. Iconic car in British Touring Car terms under the old Super Touring regulations that were in place. So that Audi arrived, brought a 4-wheel drive car. Now, interesting, when you look into the history of it, it probably wasn't the quickest or most powerful car on the grid, but a 4-wheel drive system made a huge amount of difference for them, gave them all the kind of traction they needed, and that brought them to a fantastic championship victory. By the following season, from what I recall, I think 4-wheel drive was banned at that stage, and they went to a 2-wheel drive car. Nowhere near as successful, still pushing towards the front end, but nowhere near as successful as that introductory season. The A4 itself in that format, or in that Super Touring regulations, raced in a lot of series around the world. So for this kit in particular, there's the box scheme of the British Touring Car Championship, but there are loads of aftermarket decal schemes. So first up with this for me was the BTCC one, that silver car with red Audi logos on it. So that was first thing I finished. So we'll cycle through some pictures and stuff while I'm sat here chatting. Who knows when they'll drop in over me? It could be right now, for example, but probably not, and probably mid-sentence. But however, so overall, so for this one, because I had, I suppose, quite an interest in it, I decided I'd get the detail upset as well from New, just because it added things like the seatbelt harnesses, a little bit of photo etch for the brake discs in around the interior as well. All kind of added fantastic detail, and a great sheet of carbon as well to add all those carbon details, most of which are on the underside of the car or on the interior. But nonetheless, I know they're there. So the car itself was primed in UMP black primer. Base color came from Zero Paints. They are a specific mix for this car. Decals were applied. A little bit of trimming of the clear carrier film. Went down no problems with UMP decal solutions. And then it was Gravity Spain 2K for the clear coat. So that was all set aside. Work then commenced on the chassis and running gear. Found quite a few reference pictures, not necessarily the actual car from that year. One of the sets I found was from a car from another race series a little bit later, but they give some good indication as to some of the kind of details in and around the car itself. Nice little bit of help from Thomas at Building on a Budget Models, who reminded me of the extra piece on the roll cage that isn't in the instructions. So that was a useful tip from him. But all that went together absolutely fine. The interior with the extra details on the carbon looks spot on, and then I added some wiring details as well on the inside, which when I get round to editing the video for it, those details will show up a little bit more. So that was number one that was finished. So yeah, really pleased with that. Now, second kit that was finished technically over the weekend, so it's technically in March, but because it was before the update, I kind of had to cover it as a finished kit, was the Revell 24th scale of Ferrari California. Now, the photos of this are not final ones. They're literally photos straight off the desk when it was finished. Kit's not even been given its final polish, final dust. But however, it's done, ready to be photographed. Now, this kit I picked up quite a while ago. I think I got it off eBay, secondhand. And inside the box was a Hobby Design detail up photo etch set for it. So that added quite a little bit of detail to the kit as well. Things like brake discs, the Ferrari logos, the front grille, various radiator covers, a few bits and pieces in around the interior as well, the flappy paddles for the steering wheel as well. So lots of nice little details added from the Hobby Design kit. But the rest of it is all kind of straight from the Revell kit, which I have to say was really, really good actually. Surprisingly good. So this was painted in, primed in UMP pink primer, then painted in Gravity Spain Rosso Corsa, and then Gravity Spain 2K for the clear coat. But as I said, that's kind of fresh off the bench, literally. Not literally, actually figuratively. But yeah, so that is still waiting to be properly photographed. But however, you've seen the fresh photos of it when it was finished the other day. So that is the what's been built. So, of course, we've done what's been built. So, as is tradition now, shall we say, it's time for what's been bought. And I did pick up a few kits. I've been still being somewhat restrained, tending to focus just on getting kits that I really want. But this month, because I was meeting up with Alan Parker to go visit the British Motor Museum, he still has a few kits to sell. So I picked up a couple more kits off him. So a couple of kits, 3 kits that I've kind of wanted for a while. So I picked up the Tamiya Enzo Ferrari Enzo, the Fujimi Ferrari 330 P4, and the Tamiya Jaguar XJR 9LM. The Jag was quite fitting, as when we went to the British Motor Museum, there is an XJR9 in the Jaguar collection, so I was able to get plenty of close-up and detailed photos of that. But however, it's also one of those iconic cars that I would have liked to have built. Anyway, now I've got the chance to, because I bought it from Alan. And then in addition to that, I managed to get a set of carbon decals for the Sauber C9 from Mr. Shorey. So that's all been bought. That's all of the things that have been bought in the last month. I even bought paint or consumables actually recently. So I've had quite a bit of stuff ready to use for all the kits that have been in progress. So yeah, that's it. That's the what's been bought section. So what's in progress? So because I've just finished the California, there is technically only one kit in progress. There is the Ragnar Lothbrok figure as well, which is still in progress. I've not gone back to that in a while. That's basically how I left it last year when I last spoke about it. But that's been boxed up and set aside for a bit, so I will get back to it. But aside from that, in progress is well, one of the B-Max BMW M3 E30s. So this boxing. So I managed to get some decals from someone on eBay. They're so the person on eBay, I've bought decals from them before. I wasn't impressed with them. It was when I built the Opel Manta 400 in the Austin McHale scheme. I originally bought scheme from this person on, or this company on eBay. Wasn't impressed with their decals. Managed to source the Reggie model ones instead, so I went with them. But because he had a few kind of decal schemes that were, I suppose, kits that I really want, or schemes that I really wanted, I ended up knocking things over on my desk. No, I ended up basically taking a chance on them again. So what I'm building is the BMW M3 E30 in the Toughmac Bertie Fisher scheme. So we'll stick a picture on. It'll drop in randomly at some point, probably mid-sentence again. So yeah, so this is, I mean, the car itself is going to be basic white. And the decals from eBay shouldn't have an issue going over white, but let's see as we crack on. So kit itself, bodywork's been prepped, got through all the prep, painted, primed in UMP white, then painted in, I think it was Zero Paint's Pure Brilliant White, which is kind of an equivalent to TS26. And then the decals from this company on eBay, as I'll call them. I can't remember the name of them, but they're not one of the major brands. They sell a lot of rally decal schemes on eBay. And I'll be honest, they went down pretty okay. They're not. They pretty much look like they've been printed on either an inkjet or a laser jet, but they do actually work quite well. You do have to cut them all out individually. They need a little bit of working with the decal solutions. They seem to respond okay to UMP strong, and they went down fine. I would say over strong colors, there'd probably be issues because they're not multi-screen printed. You can see they're very translucent as they go down, but over the white, they actually work quite well. So that's as far as I've got with the BMW. So that is everything that's in progress at the moment. That one and only car kit and Ragnar, of course, who I need to get back to at some point, but I don't know when. So yeah, so that's everything that's in progress. So what about future plans, you might ask? What are my plans? So obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Scale Fanatics has started. One of the things that kind of brought us together and to kind of get the group going was actually a bunch of the other people involved. They're all building the 12 scale Tamiya FW14B. So the Nigel Mansell World Championship winning car. I think they're all doing Nigel Mansell's car. I assume they are. So I thought, I could be interested in a piece of that action. The kit itself, I didn't really want to pay for it. I don't know if I'm that interested in 12 scale yet. But I did have, weirdly on, actually, if you just bear with me while I play with the camera. So somewhere up there it is. Very top shelf. There is a 12th scale Tamiya Renault RE20. So I said to myself, you know what? I've got that. Good opportunity to build it. I did want to build a large scale kit last year. Got dragged into the build of the 1/8 scale Trans Am. That kind of stole my kind of willingness to do a big scale car. But because those guys were starting their 12 scale or planning it, I thought, you know what, if I build my 12 scale kit, it's a nice way to drag me into that 12 scale world and see how I get on. Roland has kind of joined the party as well. Roland, Model Kit Beginner, who hosts the Friday night show, of which I'm one of the hosts, presenters, crew, whatever you want to call us. So he's going to build one of the Tyrrells in 12 scale, which he's got. Kits are harder for him to get, being based in South Africa. There's not as big a market over there. but he managed to get that 12 scale kit. So it's basically a Tamiya Williams 12 scale group build with an RE20 and a Tyrrell. So that kind of all came about in around the same conversations with Scale Fanatics. So that's going to be one of the plans going forward. That's probably going to start imminently. I think I have most of the things that I actually need for that, including, I've got paints for it as well. There's no detail upsets available for that kit. Certainly none I could find, which I'm quite okay with as a first kind of 12 scale F1 car build. I think it'll be interesting to work through it without overcomplicating it. And of course, it's a car from an era where there wasn't really any carbon fibre, which means no carbon. Oh, what a shame. So there we go. That's future plans at the moment. Other things that I plan on building, I don't know yet. I'd like to build a Toyota GT1. I wanted to build it about this time last year. Got sidetracked by so many other projects in what was a compressed building year anyway because of other factors. I didn't get to it, so maybe that'll come up soon as well. But quite enjoying doing the BMW at the moment as well. So there we go. That's enough of my ramblings, I think, for this month. I don't know what the total running time is because I recorded this. There's lots of different segments. Until I compile it all together, I won't know. But howsoever, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with my musings and ramblings. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, for everyone watching, don't forget to like the video as well. And if you have any comments, feel free to pop them below. And don't forget, I've stuck a link in the description for Scale Fanatics. So come on over and join our community. And hopefully we'll see all your work in progress as well. So thanks for watching. Bye bye for now. I'll see you very, very soon in another video build, which I think is going to be the Lotus F1 car. Yeah, I've started editing that, so that'll probably be the next video in the next week or two. It'll be probably a multi-part series. But howsoever, look out for it. So thank you once again. See you all very soon. Bye bye for now.